Shanti, Deb Hetherington here. Thanks for joining me. Namaste from Nutri5 Plus. So continuing with the One Posture Wednesday. And today I'd like to offer a breakdown of a forward fold. So this is Uttanasana or Adho Uttanasana. So this would be a half forward fold. And a couple of things to mention with regards to this posture. So forward folding, we wouldn't necessarily suggest that if you had a herniated disc, or have a herniated disc, also known as a slip disc. So what we would suggest, and I'll show you as we move in. So we've been doing, I'll just do a quick recap as to how this kind of fits in nicely with the previous postures that I've been offering. And you can get these postures, this is the fourth one I've done now. They're all on my YouTube channel and they're via my website, www.nutri5plus.co.uk. And I'm going to be keeping them up there. I'm building a library of postures. So if this is outside a time schedule for you, you're working perhaps busy hours or frontline worker, or any of your colleagues in fact might like it, then please do share it if you think it's going to help. Thank you. Okay, so I have spoken about Sukhasana actually, so let's start there as I'm sitting. Releasing the flesh from the sit bones, and that's that diagonal back and out sort of pulling to release and come onto the very bony discs, the ischial tuberosity, and then the legs are crossed. And you can see I've got a pillow underneath my right leg. I have a healing right hip. So we're inviting, we'd like the knees to be in line or lower than the hips. And the hands can be in the lap, on the thighs, palms up if you've got lots of energy, and palms down if you're containing, conserving your energy. And we're not collapsing in the back body, we're drawing a lift. So we can apply bandha here, mula bandha, beg your pardon, from the pubic bone to the tailbone. We're lifting up, and Uddiyana bandha, we're drawing the belly in, up and back. And we can apply that also up in Jalandhara bandha at the throat. So we start to lift and we're dropping the chin, taking it back and then up. So there's this triple chin, and there's also a lift and lengthen in the back of the neck. I'm going to bring the fingers, you can also choose to bring the fingers to touch chin mudra. And this again is all on the website. This is a lovely position to sit in to meditate. So I'm not going to be here too long. I want to move through to the forward fold. So this would be where you would sit, working into the back, the belly, and working into the pelvis. And offering, observing the breath. And then very slowly we're going to come out of that. And I'll show you. We also have looked at child's posture, and this is where the big toes touch and the knees are nice and wide. And you might have something soft because the seat might not meet your feet. They might be in the air, in which case, if you put something soft there, you're bringing that weight, that seat to the feet. And you might be using something underneath your forehead. You might be using a couple of different books to give you the height. And the arms can be nice and wide to give space in the neck and shoulder area. Palms can be flat to the earth. Of course, you can have the hands alongside the feet. Just don't collapse in the ribs. Bring them into the back body. So there's length from tail to crown. And then from there, we would come up into our tabletop, which has also been covered. And this would be with the hands shoulder distance and a nice broad collarbones from side to side here. So the crook of the elbow face each other, and the knees are underneath the hips, and there's a spread of the shins, the top of the ankles, the feet, and the 10 toes. And we're inviting a sculpting, if you like, not a rounding, but a lift of the front ribs to the back body, and the belly, and the heart space in between the shoulder blades. And we might hear, this is a wonderfully transitionary posture. We might inhale to lift to cow, Uttanasana, head, heart and tail, looking forwards or up if you have more range. And exhaling, don't lock the elbows. So Madhyasana, that cat posture. Letting the breath lead you, inhaling, letting it happen a moment before the movement, and exhaling. And it's always interesting, this posture, I find. If you do it several times, you certainly notice lubrication, length, strength, and flexibility. Good. And then from here, we'll step up. So I've been offering in a lot of my slow flow yoga that I'm sharing at the moment. You know, it's really nice to step up from the knees down and from this position. If downward dog, which I will talk about at some point, is too far to step, then coming from the knees is a less of a stride. And you can take one foot, you might come onto fingers and thumbs, and then the other hand to fingers and thumbs and step up with the other foot. And then from there, let the head go completely. Let the shoulders relax. And we found this forward fold. So I talked about Ardha Uttanasana, so it would be higher up. So if you had a slip disc, you wouldn't come beyond 90 degrees. So you would be higher up. You might have the hands on the thighs, just above the knees there. You might have the hands just below the knees, on the shins. You might even have your hands on a couple of props again. So going where feels good. So this would be Ardha Uttanasana. And we're looking to open the back of the body. So this is about strengthening the front of the body, particularly around the knees. There's a lift, and around the front thighs, there's lift, the quads. And that lift continues all the way up through the hip flexor and invites this lift and this length to draw us forwards and down. And then we start to practice that awareness of strengthening and lengthening in the back of the body here. So we're moving from the heels through the Achilles, up the calves, the back of the knee, the hamstrings, a wonderful stretch for the hamstrings, and all the way up and across the hips as we start to let the head go. So depending on the style of yoga you're practicing, some people will say straight legs only. Some people will say have a bent leg if it's tight in the back of the legs. So go where feels best for you always, you know best. Release the head, let it be free, let it dangle down. So you want to release and get length in the back of the neck and the sides of the neck. And release all the way out from the top, from the tail to the top of your head to ground. And you know, you can play with the breath here, inhaling and slowly exhaling to see if you can straighten the legs a little, and then inhale to soften, to micro bend, or a deeper bend in the knees, and exhale to straighten. So very gently moving in with an awareness of what's available for you. And then there is a dangling. This is a yin alternative to this forward fold. So this would be with a deep bend in the knees, and the belly might be on the thighs, and it's kind of almost sitting the seat a little more and let the head go. And you sit here in a yin posture for about 3 to 5 minutes. And as always, it's never, you know, obligatory. You do what feels right. So this would be the dangling option, the slightly more, the yin option, beg your pardon. And a restorative option, you might even use a couple of props to let the forehead come down, so that it can be wherever you feel right with the hands. Softer, a softer joint around the knees. So you're just waiting for that inevitable release down, that lovely opening. And the longer we stay here, the more there is opening. There is lengthening in the side body, in the front body, in the back body. So it becomes more and more available to us. So just a quick recap, Ardha Uttanasana would be not going beyond 90 degrees with the body. There may be a herniated disc, also known as a slip disc. And then so that would be a half forward fold. Uttanasana would be a full forward fold. That would be draping of the top body over the bottom body. Relax the shoulders. And then that yin option, that dangling, bending the knees, belly to thighs, let the head go. And then that restorative option, bringing in your props and letting the top of the head could be met by something. Relaxing, just checking where you are in the feet the whole time. So you're not bringing the weight all the way into the toes, and you're not taking the weight all the way back into the heels. You're distributing the weight evenly through the ball of the foot, the outside blade of your foot, and the heels, inside and outside heels. And there's a lift in the arch, lifting up through an ankle, inside knee and groins, and a light touch with the 10 toes. A couple of breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, trying to think about letting something go if that's available to you today. And breathing in and breathing out. And then slowly, you might put the hands down, you might lift the heels, you might sit the bottom to the ground. And let's come back to sitting to finish today's forward fold, Uttanasana or Ardha Uttanasana. It's always good to sit for a little while after practice to receive the practice into the subtle energy body. Go back to that comfortable sitting position, that easy pose, Sukhasana maybe. Hands wherever is comfortable. A lift and a lightness in the spine. A buoyancy in the breastbone. And the head sits on the top of its axis. The hands comfortable. Perhaps offering an awareness of stillness. Slowly exhaling, inviting the chin to the chest. A bow to all this body can do. Bringing the palms to press at the heart, thumb knuckles to the breastbone. And inhaling, fluttering open the lashes, seeing some light, the toes, the nose, and raising the gaze. Shanti, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on this One Posture Wednesday. Another posture for you next week. Thanks again. Take it easy. Look after each other. Bye.